Ethan had always believed in quiet love, the kind of love that doesn't need proof, doesn't need dramatic gestures, and certainly doesn't demand explanations every 5 minutes. He liked the stability, the way her smile could make his entire week feel lighter. The way her hand fit perfectly into his as they walked through their downtown neighborhood, past the coffee shops and bookstores that smelled of old paper and fresh espresso. It was a Friday evening, and the city buzzed with its usual energy. Cars honked somewhere down the block, and the distant hum of late-night traffic mixed with the faint strains of a jazz band from the corner bar. Ethan had stayed home, finishing some work emails, while Lily, his wife of 7 years, was out with friends. He didn't mind. He liked having the apartment to himself sometimes. It gave him space to think, to breathe, to feel the calm that came after a week of deadlines and endless calls. He served himself a glass of whiskey, the amber liquid catching the soft glow of the kitchen light, and sank into the couch. His phone buzzed once, a notification from Lily, just a simple, "See you soon." He smiled. She always sent a note before coming home, a ritual, a tiny thread of connection, but then, something unusual. He noticed her phone lying face up on the kitchen counter, which wasn't strange on its own. But tonight, the screen pulsed with a single notification, glowing in the dim light. He wasn't supposed to look, of course, he knew it, but curiosity is a sly enemy. Just one peek, he told himself. Nothing serious, just maybe a text from work? He reached out, fingers trembling ever so slightly, and swiped the screen, and froze. The notification was from a name he didn't recognize at first. Ryan. A message preview. "I miss you too." For a heartbeat, he thought it must be a mistake. Wrong number, wrong contact, maybe even some app glitch. He placed the phone back, shaking his head, but the nagging feeling didn't go away. Just check once. Just one message. The voice in his mind whispered. He hesitated. Conscience clashing with dread. Then swiped again. And there it was. Not just one message, but a series. Weeks of messages. Photos. Conversations that spoke of late-night meetups. Laughter he had never heard about. Moments shared without him. His chest tightened. It wasn't immediate anger. Not yet. It was shock. The kind of shock that makes your hands feel heavier than they are, that slows your breath, that turns your own home into a strange place. Ethan sank onto the couch, gripping the phone like it was both the evidence and the weapon. His mind raced. How long? How long has this been going on? He remembered the little things. Times she said she was working late, moments when she seemed distracted, the faint scent of someone else's cologne on her scarf. He had brushed them off. He had trusted. And now, all of it had a new, bitter meaning. The sound of the key turning in the door made him jump. Lily was home. She stepped into the apartment, her hair slightly damp from the evening drizzle, her jacket soaked but cheerful. She smiled at him.
"Hey, Ethan, sorry I'm late. You've been working."
He didn't answer immediately. He swallowed the lump in his throat and tried to steady his voice.
"Lily, I saw it."
"Saw what?"
Ethan held up the phone. The screen glowed like a cruel spotlight.
I saw your messages, all of them."
For a long moment, silence filled the apartment. Only the distant sounds of the city outside remained.
"I didn't want you to find out like this."
Her words felt empty. Ethan wanted to scream, to shake her, to demand why. Why the lies? Why the betrayal? But he stayed silent. He didn't need answers yet. The revelation itself was a wound deep enough.
"Ethan, please,
No, just let me think.
Hours passed like minutes. He stared at the ceiling, tracing the cracks with his eyes, feeling the pulse of his own heart like a drum in a silent room. Memories flashed, every laugh, every embrace, every promise whispered in the night, all of it tainted now. Finally, he spoke, quieter than before, as if saying it aloud could somehow make it less real. "I loved her. I trusted her." And he realized something bitter but true. Betrayal doesn't only hurt. It changes the lens through which you see the world. It forces you to confront yourself, your choices, your blind faith in someone else. Ethan didn't cry that night. Not yet. He simply sat, letting the pain simmer, knowing that life would never be the same again. The next morning, Ethan barely slept. The city outside had transformed overnight. Streets glimmering wet from last night's rain, sun cutting sharp lines through the blinds. But inside, the apartment felt like a tomb. He waited. Not for Lily. She had no idea what he would do next. But for himself to find the courage to speak. When she appeared in the kitchen pouring coffee like nothing had changed, Ethan's chest tightened. He could feel the tension in his jaw, the heaviness of the truth sitting between them.
Lily, we need to talk.
About last night?
Yes, about everything.
Ethan, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to find out like that.
Didn't mean to? Didn't mean to? You've been lying to me for months. Hiding texts, meetings, pictures. And you call that didn't mean to?
I never stopped caring about you. I didn't plan for this to hurt you, but it's complicated.
Complicated? That's your excuse? Complicated doesn't explain betrayal. Complicated doesn't explain why the woman I trusted more than anyone was living a secret life right under my nose.
Ethan, please, I love you. I made a mistake. It's not who I am.
Not who you are? Lily, this is exactly who you are. And I finally see it.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
Stop, I don't want to hear it. Not right now.
He walked to the window staring at the city below, letting the noise of traffic, of life outside, fill the emptiness inside him. He could feel his own pulse, hear the tiny tremor in his hands. He didn't know if he would cry, scream, or simply collapse. Instead, he spoke to himself, quietly, almost like a mantra. I loved her. I trusted her. I was blind. And now, I am awake. The days that followed were strange. They didn't fight, didn't speak much. Ethan focused on work, on the routines that kept him sane. Lily tried to talk, to explain, to mend, but he listened politely, and then returned to his own thoughts. He discovered that betrayal doesn't come with a dramatic finale. There's no single moment that ends everything. There's just a series of small realizations that add up, until one day you realize you can breathe again. One evening, sitting alone with a glass of whiskey, he thought about the last 7 years, about the laughter, the promises, the late-night talks, the comfort of shared life. And he realized, betrayal doesn't erase memories, it only changes their meaning. He thought about forgiveness, not for her, but for himself, because he needed to release the anger, the disappointment, the self-doubt. Ethan took out a notebook and wrote, I am not defined by her choices. I am defined by my own, and I choose to live honestly, even if it means leaving someone I loved behind. Weeks later, he moved out of the apartment, not in rage, not in despair, but in calm understanding. He didn't look back. He knew love could be cruel, but it could also be freeing. When it taught him to see the truth, to trust his own judgment, to honor himself. He didn't hate her, he didn't curse her, he simply accepted that she was part of his past, and his past didn't have to dictate his future. And for the first time in months, Ethan felt something close to peace. Betrayal had shattered the illusion, but in the fragments, he found clarity.